Hello, welcome to Young Reech Capital's live stream. Today is the 7th of May 2025. Looking at Bitcoin on the 1 minute time frame, and I had to take this entry a bit earlier. I was unable to go live before I could showcase this trade on the stream. Unfortunately, I was unable to boot up my live stream. My apologies for that. Nevertheless, this trade has been completed. Unfortunately, I was not able to provide it live. I'm hoping to get a retracement of this level. Hopefully, some sort of retracement so I can provide a better entry, another opportunity to enter into a short position because the market is super duper volatile right now. So it is an absolute fiesta. It's an absolute bear market carnival right now for literally everybody who took a shot out here. Just very simple shot, actually. Unfortunately, I took this trade, but I could not provide it live. I took this trade right here at this fair value gap, inversion of this fair value gap right here. I'm hoping to see if we get a retest of this, and then I would absolutely look to provide another possible entry into this right here, just above this order block, and we look to target this low again, right? Hoping to get a some sort of retracement into this level, and then we come back down, and then when we do that, we're going to go down even further. So my apologies, I was a bit late into this live stream. I was hoping to have some sort of retracement, so by the time I went live, I could have offered up this entry to the live stream, but unfortunately, the price just ran away from literally everybody who was waiting for a retracement into this inversion, right? I did take this trade though. Personally, I did take this trade right here, and as I've had been seeing a bunch of manipulated moves, this entire move was manipulated. Absolutely. Quite a deep manipulation taking place on Bitcoin right now. So, absolutely a very good time to look for some short opportunities on Bitcoin. I also have taken a position into Ethereum. Ethereum is also a lovely short. I did take the short right here. I took about 10 lots. Pretty big sizing because I was seeing a lot of weakness on Ethereum. So, beautiful reaction coming through on both Ethereum and Bitcoin trades. To be really honest, I'm probably going to hold these trades for some time until the Fed meeting takes place at 11:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and I think it should be about 1 p.m. New York time, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the market reacts to the Fed meeting, and hopefully we continue this momentum to the downside. That would be really brilliant. Looking forward to this today's FOMC meeting. Beautiful meeting going to be taking place on today's live stream. I don't know if I'm going to be live then during the meeting, but all I'll say is please trade carefully, stay clear of unnecessary trades. Please look for trades that are super high confirmation and high probability. In this kind of a situation, it's only going to get worse if you start chasing trades. It's better to see some sort of a structure form For example, this was a structure, a mini uptrend structure, which trend kind of broke down from. And then we saw this continuation. I mean, we did not get this retracement which I was waiting for. Hopefully, we do get this retracement now. Honestly, I don't think we're going to get it, right? We are probably going to stay within this box and then we're going to continue lower. We shall see what happens, because if we get a retracement back here, it would be a great place to take a shot, right? I would absolutely provide this trade any day. But I don't think we're going to get this retracement because of this really sharp move to the downside. Let's just wait and watch and see what happens. Let's stay calm, be clear on our trades. Yeah, let's look at that. The market is pretty much trying to consolidate within this order block here, and looks like this order block is going to probably convert into a breaker very soon. That's why I'm going to just leave it at a minus BK. So let's put that in once we have confirmation, right? Look at this kind of situation that's forming right now. What I would say is we have pretty good confirmation of a downtrend. So I would suggest looking for some sort of a confirmation of a retest and placing a bid at these levels to target this level. This is what I would be looking at personally. This would be my next trade opportunity on Bitcoin. Looking for Ethereum. Ethereum would be something like this. This would be my trade setup for Ethereum. So we're looking at a short trade on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're much closer to the Ethereum trade rather than the Bitcoin trade, because the Bitcoin price is slightly a bit further away from our price. We are about 200 and 260, 250 points away from our entry, whereas with Ethereum we are super close. So we're going to get a pretty good entry into Ethereum for sure, without a doubt. And I am looking forward to a pretty good continuation trade on here. If you want, you could also look to set your stops just above this. This could be a good potential trade on Ethereum, right? Could be a pretty good trade, no doubt. I am going to be looking to take this trade either both on Ethereum and Bitcoin. This would be a very, very good trade. It's what I call as a sizzling sizzler trade. When we get a sniper entry into the golden pocket. So I think it's time to be prepared for this move that's upcoming. It's going to be a massive move. Let me tell you, it's going to be a really massive move. My bets are pretty much to the downside by taking a look at this massive dump right here. That is a dump of $1,000 within a span of 20 minutes, not even 20 minutes, just less than 15 minutes, right? So the, the market is giving some indication, some sort of indication that it does want to continue towards the downside. So I would recommend placing your bids at this level towards the downside, right? So that you are at a safe level once we reach the FOMC Fed meeting. So you don't have to kind of go through unnecessary volatility and start getting stopped out of your trades, right? There we go. Look at that. What a reaction on Bitcoin. I told you, I had a feeling price is not going to retrace into these values here because of such a strong move. We have a lot of gaps that are forming. We have this gap, then we have a gap here, we have another, we have multiple gaps. So price is going to find it really difficult to move beyond these prices. So let's just mark out this level right here, right? So if we move past this level, I would recommend for the price to tap in here. You could take an entry in here, or you could wait for the price to break down from this level. Then on this retest, this is where you could make your entry. Beautiful place with a very high probability, but to be really honest, the market is moving extremely fast. So do be careful. Very volatile today. I'm gonna put that in as well. Let's just see where the price goes and let's trade accordingly. Like, let's keep it simple. No need to take any impulsive trades. Just relax, chill out, and wait and see what the price is trying to do. All right, beautiful. Hoping get that retracement into this level. This would be a really good level to place trades, which would provide us with a beautiful 5 hour trade. To be honest, I don't want to be that greedy. Just actually, why not? You don't have to be greedy. This is quite a simple technical extension of the Fibonacci of a standard deviation of just minus 0.25. So it's not even that much, to be honest. If the price starts reacting, it's going to go all the way into the minus 0.6 level, which is way further than our target of 0.25. That would give us a target of 7 hour. A 7 hour trade is going to be massive. So yeah, this is a good target. Hopefully, I would be glad if we start continuing all the way from here, because I am already placed into the market at this level. I did enter into a position on Bitcoin and on Ethereum at this level. As soon as I started noticing the market break this trend line and also sweep this liquidity, and at the same time create this, break this breaker blocker, I started noticing some potential bearish momentum. I did place myself out here. So hoping we get continuation, because I'm already placed, but for the live stream, I would love to see a retracement, excuse me, into this zone, so we can place an entry with our stops just above here or here. Then we can expect a continuation to the downside, which would pretty much go back to this low of the London and Asia session. Also, potentially plausible scenario, which we could go into tap this level right here, which is the 95,000 major key level area, right? That is also an additional possibility. So I'm gonna just wait it out. I am placed quite well in this situation right now. I'm hoping to provide a good entry for the live stream as well. Let's just wait and see what happens. Not sure. At the moment, we are bearish. So let's stay with that bias in mind. And of course, we do have to maintain a certain level of caution once we start reaching these levels, because this is where the price and the trade would get invalidated if we start trading above these levels. So do be mindful of these levels, because this is where we would invalidate a short once we start trading above this, right? So at the moment, I'm hoping that we don't cross this level. We start moving back below this, and then I would place a trade out here or a continuation to the downside. If we do get a retracement here, this would be a beautiful trade, because we have a lovely golden pocket Fibonacci ratio zone out here. And we could place your stops just above this, because we have an inversion fair value gap here. IVFG, as they call it, inversion fair value gap, right here. So that could be another scenario for a short. You want to extend your, if you want to kind of give your trade a little bit of breathing room, you could extend your stops just above this high as well. That would look something like this right here. This would be a stop above this high. Then you could target this low, which would give you a move of about 3.6 R. Essentially, for every dollar that you risk, you would be making $3.60. Right. So that is the current situation on Bitcoin. Of course, we are on the 1 minute chart. Do be careful of the situation today. We are going to be really volatile. So be in and out of trades as soon as possible. Try your best to stay clear of chasing unnecessary trades. All right. I'm just going to wait for this retracement, and then we are going to lock into a short position out here. All right, we are looking pretty good on this trade. As I said, there was a potential for the price to retrace into this zone, which essentially was my initial entry, but looks like the price started front running this level. What that essentially means is instead of retracing all the way into this sell zone, it converted the price of this consolidation, which was essentially can be looked at as a breaker block right here. It took a pretty good rejection here. And as soon as we started seeing some moves to the downside, what I personally was looking at this level was this particular fair value gap that was created on the 1 minute. As soon as we converted this fair value right here on this candle, if you noticed, we closed below the fair value. A positive fair value when it when a candle closes below a positive fair value gap, it is known as an inversion of that initial fair value, which means to say that the price is now going to flip to a bearish momentum, right? So this was my second signal. So this was my first signal of a rejection. And this was my second signal, the inversion fair value gap. And my third signal was this candle right here, move that it created right below this trend line. So that was a three confirmation trade, beautiful. And now there's going to be a retracement back into this inversion fair value gap, and then we are going to come down. This is definitely going to happen. And this is what is known as a high confluence trade right here, playing out live. All going on. You are seeing this live on Young Reech Capital. This is Bitcoin on the 1 minute chart. Just a couple of hours before the FOMC Fed meeting today, we are looking pretty good. I'm really liking the price action today. Overall, we had a bit of volatility out here, and as soon as we completed this manipulation run to the upside, we had a beautiful break of trend out here, and we also converted this fair value gap into an inverted fair value, which essentially then took the price all the way down to this pre New York Open low, right? So what are we expecting the price to do right now is what I was saying very precisely is happening, is that we have now converted this fair value into an inverted fair value right here. You see this block that I have marked out in white and gray. This block right here, essentially this whole block, right, is what is known as an inverted fair value gap. So this is a beautiful place to make an entry and set your stop above this high right here. Of course, if you would like to remain within a trade which you are 100, maybe not 100, because no trade is 100% accurate in the market, and the entire life in general is never 100% accurate. There's always uncertainty, right? So let's say 90%. You think that this trade is going to go 90% your way. So if you are so sure of the trade going your way, you could look to extend your stop above a strong area of a sell zone right above this, because this zone right here is going to be a very strong selling zone, a very strong resistance. Just say there is some sort of manipulation that happens, we come into the zone and then we dump, right? Which I don't think is going to happen, because as I said, we do have multiple confirmations that this trade is going to be a successful one, because we have first confirmation is we have an inversion here, we have a break of trend, we have consolidation that we broke down from, then additionally we have a couple of fair value gaps right here, we have a breaker right here, so this becomes a balanced price range. And then once we tapped into this balanced price range, we did come back below into this fair value right here, a small fair value on the 1 minute chart, right? We came into this. As soon as we came into this, we did then convert it into an inverted fair value as soon as we close below this gap right here. What that means is the bearish pressure is really strong. So it would be suggestible then to take a trade right here as soon as we convert the trend from a bullish into a bearish momentum. Also, there was a minor trend line forming, which we did break down from at the same time when we broke below the positive fair value, right? So, which is why I place my entry right here, my stops here, and I'm going to target the Asia and London. Actually, I'm going to target this low first. We could also potentially look to target, we could look to target, let me be precise, we could look to target this low right here as well. It give us a 3-hour trade, but at the moment I'm going to stay clean and I'm going to just target a 2-hour trade out here. Simple, no complications on this. I'm going to tag into this trade and be out of it as soon as possible. I'm going to hit that a 2-hour trade as we had set it up before. Beautiful trade. Just gonna have to wait for the price to do its thing. This was my initial setup right here. All right, let's just wait for the price to do its thing and complete the trade. As I said, we are getting a beautiful reaction at this level. Gonna keep it simple with the 2-hour trade. I'm quite certain we're gonna get a tag of these lows again, and we're gonna probably break down from this level as well. We are gonna break down from this level. And I think it's gonna be a massive breakdown from here. So as soon as we complete this for the third time, because we are overall bearish, right? So once we start converting these lows into a resistance zone, oh man, we're gonna go back to that 95K. And to be really honest, I would really enjoy that price move to the 95K region. Would be very good to see price move to that level. At this moment, we are seeing some kind of consolidation, which I personally feel like is just a couple of orders executing out here to balance out this dump and also this break of structure. And once we complete, then we're just gonna dump all the way. So watch out, watch out, traders. We are going down. We are in a live trade on BTC. Live short position open on Bitcoin. Clean trade playing out. We are in profit right now. So just gotta wait, have some patience, and let the trade play out accordingly. Yeah, just look at that beautiful rejection. Each candle is able to describe the kind of momentum that the market is trying to describe to the participants, right? At the moment, we are looking bearish, right? And for some reason today, there have been a lot of fair value gap conversions, like inverted fair value gaps, inversions, right? Inversion fair value gaps. There have been a lot of them. See, we have one inversion right here. We have an inversion here. Then we have a couple of inversions here, over here, over here, over here as well, here as well. Look at this. So many inversions today, which essentially what that means is the price has been playing its own little mind games with the participants. So if you're placed well within the market, there's nothing that can stop you from hitting your targets and also being successful while trading any kind of market, to be honest. Right, this is going to be the word trend. Get rid of this one. Beautiful. There we go. Look at that lovely reaction. As I said, this is the kind of trade I'm looking for. Simple 2 hour trade. We had the patience to wait. We were expecting a retracement into this zone right here. Unfortunately, we did not get it. So I didn't make that entry there. So I was waiting, was hoping to see where the price took us. And as soon as we got confirmation of this conversion of this fair value into an inversion fair value gap, along with a trend line break, we had a beautiful entry opportunity right here. And that stops right here, and we have full TP at this level. I'm not going to be taking any partials on this trade because I already know that the market is quite bearish and we have good momentum. We are seeing good bearish momentum. So I would prefer to directly hit full TP without taking any partials because we are pretty much there almost. We're 50% to our level already. We're about 170 points right now in profit. We have another, it's a couple more points to go, like 100 more points to go. That's it. Yeah, we just have about 120 points to go. Then we're done with this trade. So simple, very simple trade. Absolute banger of a trade. This is what I call as a sizzling sizzler trade, where we are tagged in as soon as we see multiple confirmations playing out. And it's so simple to take these kind of trades, to be really honest. Super simple, super easy. There's no need to rush it at all. A simple 2 hour trade for every $1, we will be making $2. So that's a 1:2 ratio. Beautiful trade on this right here. So we are in profit. Now I would suggest moving stops to here. We would like to trail. I would like to trail my stops to this level right here, which is essentially just a level above the inversion, right? So stops have been trailed. Beautiful. Yeah, this is a this is a no stress, no tension trade. So simple, very clean, laid out so beautifully. With the right patience and with the right execution, trade is so simple to take, to be honest. And that can be said about any business around the world, any profession, any business. You have the right patience and you know how to execute the trade. If you know how to execute the transaction right, you will be successful. Patience is one of the keys that unlocks the door. Of course, there are plenty of doorways available to unlock. There are plenty of keys as well, but one of the foundation key elements to unlock the door to a successful flow of business transactions or a successful opening into a good trade would be patience. Beautiful. We are about to hit full TP. It's a 2 hour trade. Lovely. Now, essentially converted now into a full break even. Lovely. Actually, I'm going to trail my stops. Beautiful. There we go. Very close to hitting our full TP right here. Very, very close. I think this candle is going to take us out in full profits. Lovely. What a beautiful, beautiful reaction. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what is known as a purely technical, high confluence trade execution that has been taken live with the market price action playing out in a volatile environment. Beautiful. This is something I'm definitely going to clip and post as a separate video. This trade execution is going to go on as a separate video. I'm going to do a breakdown as well of the trade and possibly see how I can chop it up and start bringing in some more subscribers as well. That's something I've been looking at doing. This is beautiful. What a trade playing out live. Simple trade execution playing out live. Taken on the Young Reech Capital YouTube channel. All right. For those of you who are in this trade can look to take profits right here. We are just about 45 points away from our full DP. You can take full profits right here, or you can wait for the price to react and go further down. That's totally up to you. I would be waiting for this trade to fully take me out because, as I said, we are looking at a really strong. There we go. As I was saying, a really strong bearish momentum. Beautiful, successful trade played out live on this stream. Lovely 2 hour trade. We trailed our stop loss as soon as we reached this level. Beautiful, beautiful trade. Awesome. Glad I could have provided this trade live. Lovely. Beautiful. All right, after this beautiful, beautiful trade execution, I am now prepared to quickly break down some altcoins and look at this beautiful trade I provided for Ethereum as well. Great reaction of this 3-hour trade on Ethereum. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So at the moment, we could be looking for a retracement into the golden pocket on Ethereum right here. This would be a practical move for the market to look for some nice longs out here in this zone. BTC as well could be looking to do something like that. Is definitely possible, no doubt. Take all this out, or we can just keep it on here and bring it back in tomorrow. All right. So as I said, I promised that we're going to be doing two altcoins today, which is going to be Zen and Dogecoin. Beautiful, beautiful today. Very nice trade taken live on the channel. Simple trade. Such a simple, quick reaction trade. Fully hit TP within a span of 15 minutes. Like 15, yeah, 15 minutes was the estimate of the trade. All right, we're looking at Zen token. Set up the watermark. Right, this is Zen token. We have completed that. We have this playing out. We also have this playing out as well. And we have this playing out as well. Yeah, so Zen has been um, one of the good movers this year. Actually, at the beginning of this year, Zen did a huge move of about 400% ever since November of 2024 all the way to Jan, the end of December. In 1 month, we've hit a 450% move. Huge move. But then we retraced the entire thing. Quite sad, to be honest. All right, I'm gonna mark out some key levels on the Zen token. Future reference. Honestly, it's not looking too good. Let me be clear on that. Zen token is not looking good. If anybody's looking to take a position for a long, this could be a good zone to take a long right here. Just place your stops below this, then target this high, which wouldn't give you that great of an RR. So I wouldn't recommend trading into Zen token at the moment. It is pretty much complete with all its shenanigans of this huge move. So I wouldn't recommend Zen. And honestly, I'm going to take it off the list because it's looking really, really. Actually, I might not take it off the list because, it's always a chance for tokens to move back to high liquidity zones. But until we, kind of complete all of this, we need to break through all of these zones. This is going to be a very key level. I'm going to put some price call outs. I'm going to actually keep these colors neutral because it's easier that way. We go, it's going to be another call out. This is going to be another call out here. And boom, gonna have another call out, right? Yeah, beautiful. So these four prices are going to be your key levels on Zen. I'm not going to go into the lower time frames because this is all I need for me to see where the price is going to go. Until we reach these levels, these four key price points are going to be very important. So trade accordingly and be safe. All right, let's move on to Dogecoin. Huh. Yeah, Dogecoin. Funny. Dogecoin has always been funny, and there we go. We have our first key level. Additionally, we have this is going to be a zone. It's going to be a very important zone. Huge, very important zone. Doge right here. Now, let me place some potential price call outs for Dogecoin. And we do have this level as well. And of course, we don't have this as well. And that's it. I'm not going to go further than this because it's going to, we have a long way to go for the price to reach this level. Yeah, of course, we do have a lot of other things going on the daily chart as well. So let me mark out some additional key levels for Dogecoin. Be an additional key level. All right. So just make sure you mark these out on your chart and use these levels as potential support and resistance zones as and when the price reacts with these levels. That's pretty much the easiest way to go about using support and resistance areas. All right, there is another one sitting right here. But that's all right. We have a zone that we marked out, so consider this now. Anyway, now I'd like to go into the 1 hour time frame and see what we are looking at overall. Before that, I'm going to go back into the daily chart. Then I'm going to mark out some key trend line situations. The daily chart of Dogecoin. All right, see, Dogecoin is absolutely a good buy. Let me tell you why Dogecoin is a good buy opportunity. Because as you can see, we are quite far away from the upper trend line, which is about a 200% move. We are at previous consolidation areas right now. So overall, I would like to get rid of this level right here. Just keep this one on the chart. And this one, yeah. These three levels are going to be really important for Doge. Absolutely. Very important for Doge to stay within these levels. All right, so basically what I'm looking at right now is a massive opportunity for the price to now rally back into these highs out here, because we are at previous bear market support, as I said, previous consolidation areas. At the same time, we are creating higher lows, also taking support at a very strong level. So many reasons to start looking for a long-term opportunity into Dogecoin. Of course, please trade level by level so that you don't get front run and your stops don't get hit and don't take unnecessary losses. Try and keep it simple. I would recommend waiting for confirmation. For example, we have something like this on Doge. So just wait for these levels to be taken out, right? Let these levels speak for itself. Wait for confirmation. Let all these levels be tapped into. Yeah, I want to make this into a zone as well. So we have these two zones of demand right here, and we have the zone of supply sitting right here. So I would say, right, mm, interesting, interesting stuff. Yeah, so this would be the key level, right? And convert this into the zone just yet. Wait for some time. use this as a potential supply zone. All right, this is Doge right now. We are going to have to wait for this trend line to be taken out, and that's only when I'll be looking for some potential long opportunities. Once we also reclaim this level, essentially this price of 20 cents, 20.5 cents, and then I'd be looking to place a long just with a low, like stops below these lows around here or something like this. Then I'd be looking to target either this, or I'd be looking to target this. So if we, what I could also be looking at is to increase my RR on the Doge trade, is to place it just below this trend line that you see right here. That is another possibility as well. But I wouldn't go too far as to taking a trade right away into Doge for the long term, because we are well within a consolidation area. The moment we start getting some good bullish momentum on Bitcoin, everything is going to move, of course. All the tokens are going to do its thing. But we do have some relief coming through on the Doge and essentially almost all the tokens because of Bitcoin rallying slightly. But nothing too great, to be honest, on Doge. We've essentially retraced this entire move, which is not a great sign, let me tell you. Not at all a great sign. And yeah, maybe there is some hope left because we are in the golden pocket right now on this massive retracement. So just gonna have to wait and watch what Doge does. I'm not gonna be a trader on Doge right now. It's not really looking too great. All right, let me go into the lower time frame, 4 hour time frame, and see what we are looking at. If we have any potential trade opportunities. Yeah, like I said, we don't really have any trade opportunities on Doge at the moment until we reclaim this high. We have to trade above this to start looking for some trades. This is going to be a key zone, or you could also look for a potential retest of this zone and this trend line for a up it back into this trend line right here. Yeah, so these are some potential scenarios on Dogecoin. I'm gonna leave this prediction right here just to see what happens in the future. Yeah, and yeah, trade safely, trade accordingly. Mark out these levels on your price chart just to be clear that you know what levels are strong. When we reach these levels, you also do know what kind of reaction you're going to get, right? So stay aware of all these levels. Going to be important. Also gonna look to place one last call out, which is gonna be this level, the 28 cent level, 28 to 30 cent level, right? Let's say 29. But these four levels are going to be key levels for you. Trade accordingly, and let's see what happens. All right, that were the two altcoins for today. Let's quickly go through what we were doing on previous altcoin breakdowns. Okay, let me actually do that at the end of the week. Once we see some more development in the price action, then I'll be able to be more clear on the chart breakdown that I had provided for these altcoins, these five, and now six and seven as well. I also did Ondo and Pendle, so we're pretty much almost complete with our altcoin breakdowns on my watch list. We have Solana, XRP, Tau, Pengu, and Popcat that is remaining, which I will be doing in the upcoming day or two. Once we're done with that, we'll just keep rotating and going through the price action to see where it is looking forward to going. All right, beautiful, beautiful, lovely live session today. Glad I could have glad to have provided all of this knowledge and also this lovely trade execution live on Bitcoin. And I'm hoping for more downside. I'm pretty much expecting more downside on Bitcoin as well. So looking good. Great live session today. This is Young Reach Capital coming to you live from India. So beautiful stuff going on. I am gonna be logging out now because we're done for the day. The trade has been completed, fully successful trade. I will be back tomorrow for around the New York Open. As soon as I see some good price action form, I will be live to provide another possible trade opportunity along with some more chart analysis. So take care, trade safely, and I will see you on the next one.